So I wanted to do a video that is not when I'm all put together in an upbeat mode. I wanted to do a video. I've been meaning to do this for a while when I'm in what I would consider in the thick of it. We're experiencing seizures with Ruby. She has a very specific pattern, which I'm grateful for because it allows me to anticipate sometimes even when they're going to start and then how long they're going to go for. So her seizures, her pattern right now is they tend to go over a 3-day period of time, and there can be anywhere from 3 to 5 or 6 seizures that are going to occur during that time. So this is day 3 of that pattern, and I am filming on this day because this is the day consistently that I always feel the most exhausted. I realize how hard having a dog with epilepsy is. And as much as you can be like, you got this, and you know what you're doing, it doesn't take away from the fact that this is hard and it's exhausting and it can be very messy. And this is often what people who do not have a dog with epilepsy, their dog is healthy, don't understand, and I wouldn't expect them to understand. I've learned that over time when I've tried to explain. I actually have, with certain people, have stopped explaining or sharing because I just don't think they get the work and the energy and how defeating sometimes this feels to have a dog with epilepsy. Because all you want is to do the right thing. And even with doing all of the right things, it still doesn't stop seizures from happening. So you still have to go through the difficulties of watching your dog. Ruby has generalized seizures, formerly known as grand mal. So it's not fun to watch that. She's 10 and a half. So even that physical full body seizure that I'm watching her do, I get scared for her and how that's going to affect her. She's been having back motor coordination issues, and so that's just a whole nother component. The purpose of this video really is just to have me be with you if you're going through this right now, because this is the real moment of what this is, how it's hard, and most people don't understand what you have to do to help your dog through it. In the last 8 hours, I've dealt with 2 seizures that have involved a lot of saliva, that involved poop, because as Ruby has gotten older now, she tends to defecate during a seizure, which is fun, and blood. So this happened one other time, but it happened just this last seizure where I was protecting her head from hitting the stone. She was kind of laying next to the stone fireplace. I was protecting her head from hitting the fireplace, the stone behind her, not realizing that her lip that was closest to the rug underneath her was rubbing. So she got an abrasion. And so once the seizure was over, I realized there was also a bunch of blood. And so having to inspect her and make sure she was okay, and cleaning the blood up and the poop up and the saliva up. So I think these are the things that many people don't understand unless they're going through it. And when you are, so many seizures into it and you are exhausted yourself, this is when it can get really defeating, and you're wondering why. Why does my dog have to have this? And So if anything, if you're going through it with your dog right now, just know that other people are too, that if anyone is kind of showing like they have it all together, just know that most of us who are going through this don't, and that it is definitely a struggle and a difficulty. I've been dealing with her seizures now for 8.5 years, and it still, I mean, I'm confident in what I know I need to do, but it still doesn't make it like easy. And I myself can feel that as, her seizures go on and I get to day 3, which is today, I'm exhausted, and I know it's coming to an end. There might be one more later on today, and then it will be over for a couple of months. So I wanted to share, though, some of the things that saved me during this time are she's definitely extremely clingy during this time. Like, it's just like she won't settle down. I think that also, not only are you on guard because you're just like waiting for that next seizure to happen, but it's almost like you just want them to like finally rest and lay down or take a nap, and sometimes that can be hard for them. I know it is for Ruby, and right now she's just staring at me. So one of the things that I do with her that can be really, really helpful, especially if I just need to get some things done, is she, after a seizure, is also extremely hungry. I do give her extra food after a seizure, but there comes a point where I'm like, I'm not gonna just keep giving you food. And so the lick pads have really been a good tool that I use, where I can put, I have a whole video about the lick pads. I probably own 4 or 5 of them. But I have a video about it. You can look back that just shows like all the different things that you can put on them. But those are great because it allows them to just focus in. She is hungry, and so she'll just focus in on that lick pad for quite a while. And I also think that licking is just it helps almost her body relax. Another thing I do after that seizure, I'm in the Midwest. It's cold here right now, and there's snow on the ground. And so I typically will, when I know it's safe to do so, and I keep an eye on her while she's out there, but I send her outside after a seizure to help her body cool down. I can tell she likes it. She goes and sometimes just lays right in the snow, because seizures can definitely bring up their body temperature. And then the third, probably most important thing that I do during this time is I make sure those areas that she sleeps in, that she'll take naps in. So she typically will have a seizure while she's sleeping at night, or while she's napping during the day. And I make sure those areas I have a bunch of old sheets, and I'll put those sheets down, and then she's sleeping on top of that. And that has saved me multiple times. It like was the lifesaver for this last seizure that she just had about an hour and a half ago, where she not only there's always a lot of saliva for her, but she was sleeping on an expensive rug that I have in the living room, and she not only had a lot of saliva, but also she pooped multiple times, and like I said, got that abrasion on her lip, so there was also blood involved. So for me to be able to just, like, number one, not freak out because my rug is ruined, or that I'm gonna have them, spend the next couple of hours trying to clean that rug and get that all cleaned up, to have that sheet down where I could just pick that sheet up and get that sheet into the wash, is super, super just helpful. So if there's anything you take away from this, if that's not something that you've been doing, I would make sure you have a bunch of old sheets. Where she sleeps at night, in our bedroom, she sleeps on my side of the bed, and I have rugs down and then a sheet over the top of those. So that saved me last night at about 1:30 in the morning when she had a seizure next to the bed and also pooped during that. So I also make sure that I have towels just kind of laying around the house. So if she has a seizure, there's always lots of saliva, like I said, so I can just easily grab that towel and clean her up quick, and then use it for some of the other things that happen. So those are just some quick little tips. And I also wanted to make sure that this channel is real and I'm not presenting it like I have all the answers, and I'm not presenting it like it's this like happy thing that I have full control over. It's not. I'm still learning. I don't have all the answers. I've just been trying to figure it out as I go. I'm further along in the journey than a lot of other people are. So I'm hoping that by you hearing that, even with me having done this for 8.5 years, I'm still exhausted. This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. I don't have all the answers, and no matter what I've done, I've never been able to like cure her of her seizures. So if you're hearing stories of people who have been able to do that, great for them. I'm so happy for them and their dogs. But I think the reality is most of us don't ever accomplish that. And that's not on us. That's just all dogs with epilepsy are different, and there's different reasons why they have seizures. And most of us will have a dog that will forever have seizures, and we're doing seizure management. So I'm very aware that I just want to be very cautious in how I'm presenting myself, and I want people who are going through it and who are early in the journey to know, like, it's just literally I take this time period that I know I'm going to be going through it with her over a 3-day period, and I just do my best, and I try to use some of these other little strategies that I just talked about, so I don't have more of a catastrophe, more of a mess on my hands, because my energy is lower during this time, and I don't want to have to be doing extra cleaning, but like being able to pull together sheets and towels and throw them in the washing machine is just so much easier than like scrubbing rugs and carpets and trying to get feces and blood out of them. So hopefully those tips will help. I also have not been posting for the last 2 months. I just took the holidays off, but I am going to be starting now again. So every Sunday at 10 a.m. So after this video, the next Sunday, I will be starting to post. I created a course that I had on my website for a while. I'm actually pulling that off my website, and I'm going to just have every lesson be a video that I upload on Sundays at 10 a.m. I would rather this information get out to people that need it, even if it helps one person, than have it sit on my website and not be used. So that will be started. And then one of the projects that I've done that I'm really, really excited about is I've often wondered, I don't have children, but if I had to explain seizures that my dog is having to a small child, if I had children, or if I had, I have nieces and nephews, so if they were over and I had to explain to them, so for many years I've had an idea, but I did write a children's book. So my background is I'm a school psychologist, so I have experience in developmental for children. And so I wrote this book with, of course, Ruby being the main character, called Ruby's Rhythms, Let's Learn About Epilepsy. This children's book is available on Amazon. I'll put a link in my, in the description below this. This is a book that is presenting it in a way that is not scary. It also could be beneficial if your child themselves have epilepsy, just to kind of be able to see another character, a cute dog who has epilepsy. And then also, or if it could be useful if your child has a friend or a classmate that has epilepsy. It's just another way to like talk about it and describe it. Children are very smart, and things that might be scary, like watching your dog have a seizure in front of them, if you can explain it to them in a way that they can understand it, that can make all the difference. Another component of it that this book goes through is it's giving the child some thing that they can do. How can they help if a seizure is occurring? And so kids are great when they know what's happening and why, and then how can they help during that. So like I said, this is available on Amazon. I've got a link in the description below. So if you have a child in your life that would be beneficial, definitely check that out. But thanks, and I hope you enjoy the course. There will be 13 lessons, and that will start next Sunday. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.